Hello dear viewers, welcome to this edition of the news. My name is Serge Nhole. First, the headlines. President Paul Kagame has chaired a cabinet meeting at Village Urugwiro. The appeal trial of Rwanda national Dr. Eugene Rwamucho, who is being prosecuted for crimes related to the 1994 genocide against the Tutsi, is to begin on Tuesday in Paris. And on the international scene, a powerful 7.8 magnitude earthquake has struck the Philippines. On Monday, the 8th of June 2026, His Excellency President Paul Kagame chaired a cabinet meeting at Village Urugwiro. The cabinet approved the draft law determining state finances for the 2026-2027 fiscal year. The draft budget focuses on strengthening agriculture production, boosting industries, accelerating job creation, and ensuring macroeconomic stability. The cabinet was briefed on the ongoing Ebola outbreak in the region and Rwanda's preparedness measures. The Ministry of Health has reinforced prevention, screening, and surveillance at all points of entry to safeguard public health. There are currently no Ebola cases in Rwanda, and all activities continue as normal. Our citizens are encouraged to remain vigilant and follow public health guidelines. The cabinet approved the following draft laws. Draft laws approving the ratification of the loan agreements between the Republic of Rwanda and the African Development Bank relating to the loans for Muvumba Multipurpose Water Resources Development Program, additional financing. Draft law approving the ratification of the financing agreement between the Republic of Rwanda and the International Development Association relating to the grant and the credit for the social economic inclusion of refugees and host communities in Rwanda project phase 2. Draft laws approving the ratification of the financing agreement between the Republic of Rwanda and the International Development Association relating to the credit for Rwanda Urban Mobility Improvement Project. A draft law approving the ratification of the financing agreement between the Republic of Rwanda and the International Development Association relating to the credit for Rwanda Disaster Risk Management Development Policy financing with a catastrophe deferred drawdown option. The draft law approving the ratification of the agreement between the Republic of Rwanda and the Republic of Botswana for the elimination of double taxation with respect to taxes on income and the prevention of tax evasion and avoidance. Draft laws approving the ratification of the air services agreements between the Republic of Rwanda and the government of Algeria, Azerbaijan, Botswana, Costa Rica, Guyana, Morocco, Senegal, Trinidad and Tobago, as well as the United Kingdom of Great Britain and Northern Ireland. Draft law approving the ratification of agreement establishing Africa Risk Capacity Agency. The cabinet approved the following policies, strategies, and programs. The establishment of the National Artificial Intelligence Agency that will accelerate AI development, innovation, adoption, investment, and governance in support of Rwanda's digital transformation and economic growth. Revised headquarters agreement between the government of Rwanda and the Nile Basin Initiative, Nile Equatorial Lakes Subsidiary Action Program Coordination Unit. Applications for mineral and quarry licenses. Lease of state land located in Karongi district to Zipline Rwanda Limited. The cabinet granted agreement to the proposed ambassadors and representative of international organizations as follows. Mr. Jeremy Blin, Ambassador Extraordinary and Plenipotentiary of the European Union or to the Republic of Rwanda with residence in Kigali. Dr. Simon Knapp, Ambassador Extraordinary and Plenipotentiary of the Republic of Austria to the Republic of Rwanda with residence in Nairobi. Ms. Dede Eku, Country Representative of the International Fund for Agriculture Development in the Republic of Rwanda with residence in Kigali. Cabinet approved the following appointments. In the Gender Monitoring Office, Mr. Habiyaremye Florier, Deputy Chief Gender Monitor in charge of gender mainstreaming, term of office renewed. In the Rwanda Development Board, Mr. Ineza Gracier, Internal Audit Division Manager. In the Rwanda Governance Board, Mr. Minani Faustin, Head of Service Delivery and Good Governance Department. Mr. Muringwa Anatole, Head of Research and Homegrown Solutions Department. Ms. Murungi Anita, Service Delivery Division Manager. Ms. Munganyika Lydia, Registration Division Manager. Mr. Niyikora Sylvain, Applied Governance Research Analyst. Now in the Higher Education Council, Dr. Habimana Olivier, Head of Department for Digitalization and Research. Dr. Nyirigango Gerard, Division Manager for Post-Quality Enhancement in General Education. Mr. Shaka Eriks, Communications Analyst. And Mr. Mushambaro Richard, Legal Analyst. In any other business, the Minister of Sports informed Cabinet of the 21st edition of the Kigali International Peace Marathon, scheduled from the 13th to the 14th of June 2026. And the Minister of Environment informed Cabinet of the 38th meeting of the parties to the Montreal Protocol, scheduled in Kigali from the 2nd to the 6th of November 2026. Now moving on, the Auditor General's report for the 2024-2025 fiscal year indicates that unless action is taken to recover losses affecting various cooperatives across the country, many member households could face serious economic hardship and poverty. And Ola Gladys with the details.
Across the country, members of cooperatives have frequently complained about losses resulting from funds allegedly embezzled by some cooperative leaders. For the past 6 years, members of the COCPPAR cooperative, which brings together grain traders operating in the Murindi market in Gasabo district, have been unable to benefit from their cooperative building, which serves more than 180 member households. This followed the alleged secret auctioning of the property by some of its leaders and members. The building was reportedly sold for 2.5 billion Rwandan francs, despite being valued at more than 7 billion Rwandan francs. What continues to concern cooperative members is that the proceeds from the sale were deposited into the personal account of one of the cooperative leaders. The cooperative's president, Zawadi Albertino Mutoni, explains the losses they suffered as a result of poor governance. The money was withdrawn from the bank and after being deposited into Wesia's account, transferred from Wesia's account to the personal account of one of the members who was managing the cooperative. At no point did this money pass through the cooperative's accounts. Regarding how the money was used, we only see the bank transfer records, but we do not know whether they are genuine or not. They paid 2.19 billion and the remaining amount is still unclear. We do not know where it went. Up to now, the cooperative has no connection with the money from the sale of the cooperative's property. We even took bank loans from the banks we work with in order to pay back shares, and we ended up making losses because we were paying for something that was supposed to generate income for us. This situation would have been avoided if we had not been affected by these legal complications and disputes. In his report for the fiscal year ending on 30th June 2025, the Auditor General of State of Finances, Alexis Kamuhire, informed both chambers of parliament about the continued failure to follow up on and recover funds misappropriated from various cooperatives, an issue that recurs year after year.
In the 2022-2023 fiscal year, the Rwanda Cooperative Agency RCA conducted audits in 105 cooperatives and found cases of embezzlement amounting 7.7 billion Rwandan francs. In 2025, RCA also audited 46 cooperatives and discovered that 455 million have been misappropriated. However, during our audit, we found that only 10 million Rwandan francs have been recovered. This shows that there is still a serious challenge in monitoring cooperatives and recovering misappropriated funds, as the process is moving very slowly. We recommend that RCA work more closely with other institutions and strengthen efforts to monitor the management of cooperatives. Whenever embezzlement of members' assets is identified, swift actions should be taken to ensure that the stolen funds are recovered.
Members of Parliament have called for explanations from the relevant institutions regarding the problems affecting cooperatives and have also urged them to present a clear and comprehensive plan on how these issues will be addressed.
Cooperatives are a pillar of development, but frankly, it is alarming to hear that RCA audits uncovered losses this magnitude. I would like to ask the Auditor General, in your discussions with RCA, what did you find to be the root cause of the problem? Is it a shortage of staff? Is it an issue within the cooperatives themselves? Or it is a lack of skills and capacity? We would like to hear a clear explanation.
The Auditor General, Alexis Kamuhire, says there are measures that can be taken to ensure that assets belonging to cooperative members are promptly recovered whenever they are misappropriated.
I spoke with the head of RCA, who also engaged with the cooperative leadership, and he explained that structures have been established at the district level to oversee cooperatives, and these local bodies should take their lead because cooperatives are closer to the grassroots level, which makes monitoring easier. However, he noted that this is not sufficient and that stronger monitoring mechanisms need to be put in place. He mentioned that they take cases to court, but also say that once a person is found responsible, they should be removed from cooperatives. He also suggested that recovery of misappropriated funds should be pursued at an early stage, and that this approach should be strengthened and consistently applied.
The law governing cooperatives require local government authorities to submit quarterly reports to the Rwanda Cooperative Agency on the status of cooperatives operating within their jurisdictions. However, the audit found that only 3 districts, Rwamagana, Ngororero, and Kirehe, submitted the required quarterly reports, enabling RCA to effectively monitor cooperative performance. According to RCA statistics from 2023, Rwanda had 11,182 registered cooperatives with a combined membership of more than 4.5 million people.
Rwanda has joined a major African clinical trial to test a vaccine against chikungunya, a mosquito-borne disease that affects millions of people worldwide and is often mistaken for malaria due to its similar symptoms. A 4-year study will involve 940 volunteers from Rwanda, Kenya, Nigeria, and Senegal as researchers work to develop one of the first effective vaccines against the disease. William Evans Mutabazi with more.
Chikungunya is a mosquito-borne viral disease that causes high fever, severe joint pain, and fatigue. While its symptoms are often confused with malaria, health experts warn that the disease can lead to long-term disability and, in severe cases, serious neurological and cardiovascular complications. Now, Rwanda has joined a multinational effort to test a promising vaccine candidate known as MV-Chik. Researchers at the University of Rwanda have begun preparations for a clinical trial that will assess the vaccine's safety and effectiveness among different age groups. The study will involve 940 participants from Rwanda, Kenya, Nigeria, and Senegal, including adults, adolescents, and children. Researchers say the disease has already been detected among patients in Rwanda, underscoring the importance of developing preventive measures.
There's also a study, so we are building upon some of the evidence. There's also a study which has been done here in Rwanda almost 2 years ago, in 2024, which shows a high seropositivity of patients who, among the samples that were collected. So where it was around 69% seropositive cases. So being seropositive does not mean you are automatically sick. That means some of those were also asymptomatic, which means they have been maybe chronically having the virus over time, which shows that it's really a need to implement this study in Rwanda, but also to raise awareness for the chikungunya disease in Rwanda as well.
The vaccine trial is part of a broad African research initiative aimed at tackling a disease that continues to affect communities across tropical and subtropical regions. According to International Vaccine Institute, chikungunya has become an increasing public health concern due to the expansion of mosquito populations and the absence of a specific cure. Officials say developing an effective vaccine could significantly reduce illness, disability, and pressure on health systems.
Good thing that attracts investors in biomanufacturing in Rwanda. We have very mature regulatory affairs, WHO level 3, this is FDA. We have academics settings that have the integrity, the transparency, the rigorous nature of this development that is required when you want to venture in this direction. So the work of Rwanda, we find most academicians are leading the scientific path because we have the capability, because we have the knowledge, and the ecosystem is very supportive to deliver to that level.
Rwanda's participation in the study reflects the country's growing role in health research and biomedical innovation. Government officials say the experience gained through such trials is helping strengthen local scientific capacity while positioning Rwanda as an important contributor to global vaccine development efforts.
As you may know, there are a lot of vector-borne diseases in Africa, including malaria, including Zika, dengue, and chikungunya. And the challenge for this chikungunya disease is underreported. Most of the time, the clinicians think of malaria at first, but then they provide a treatment that is not necessarily applicable to the fever. It could be chikungunya disease as well, because there are similarities in terms of clinical symptoms with fever and a joint pain that could be misdiagnosed as malaria, but it's chikungunya. So it's hard to say the disease burden for chikungunya, but for sure, when you look at the size of the population at risk for chikungunya, and when you put that into the context of climate change and impact on infectious diseases, I believe chikungunya is a public health concern in Africa and in Rwanda in particular.
Chikungunya has affected more than 35 million people across Africa, Asia, and the Americas. The research project, valued at 15 million euros, will run from 2026 to 2030, with Rwanda expected to manage nearly 30% of the program's activities. Researchers say that if the vaccine proves successful, it could provide one of the first effective tools to prevent a disease that currently has no specific cure. William Evans, RwandaTV News.
On Tuesday, the Paris Court of Appeal will begin hearing the case of the genocide perpetrator, Dr. Eugene Rwamucho. Adam Squizera with the details.
This follows his appeal against the 27-year prison sentence handed down by the Paris Court of Assize on October 30th, 2024, after he was found guilty of charges including conspiracy to commit genocide and crimes against humanity. On Monday, the presiding judge met with citizens who will serve as jurors alongside the professional judges during the trial. The jurors play a crucial role as they follow the proceedings, listen to witness testimonies, and assist the judges in analyzing the evidence and reaching a verdict. The jurors are officially confirmed by the court, but are selected from annual lists prepared by a special commission attached to each court overseas. The lists are drawn from electoral registers provided by local municipalities. On Tuesday, the panel of 9 jurors will be formally constituted, after which the appeal hearing will officially begin. A total of 69 witnesses are expected to testify during the proceedings. Among them, 25 will testify via video conference, while the remaining witnesses are expected to appear in person in Paris, France.
The National Land Authority says that following recommendations from the Office of the Auditor General, it will recruit additional staff next month in order to reduce delays that have caused citizens to wait a long time for land-related services. And Ola Gladys with more.
In various districts across Rwanda, citizens, especially at the local administrative level, frequently request land services or services related to land. A report by the Office of the Auditor General of State Finances showed that during an audit conducted in February 2026, the National Land Authority had not yet processed more than 38,000 files. Some of these files had been pending for between 6 months and 2 years without review. A legal expert and advisor in land services says that land buyers should be careful, as delays in receiving services are sometimes linked to the way land transactions are conducted. The Director General of the National Land Authority says that the institution plans to change its working methods in order to address this problem. The Auditor General's report also indicates that more than 202,000 files were pending approval. This led to recommendations for the Land Authority to improve its operations, particularly in the timely processing and review of land-related files.
The Ministry of Trade and Industry has pointed out that equipping young people with skills in entrepreneurship and promoting business ideas is one of the ways countries can reduce unemployment and boost economic growth. And Aura Gladys once more.
As part of efforts to enhance youth skills in entrepreneurship and prepare them to become key partners in their country's development, the Kigali Independent University, in partnership with Kim 10 from Germany, organized a program called the International Summer School on Entrepreneurship 2026. The program brings together students from various universities in Rwanda and Germany. Students who took part in the program say it is a unique opportunity that helps them understand how their ideas can be transformed into profitable businesses after completing their studies.
Well, I think we will learn a lot how to build up new businesses that will sustain. So a lot of people will get new jobs. So I think that's really important because that's the only thing that takes countries forward and boosts the economy, that people get out of their comfort zone and try out new things and just create a nice jobs for people. Yeah. And I think also it's really good here because there are people from a lot of other countries, so you can get their views and see maybe how it's done in their countries, what are they really good at. So I think that's a really good benefit because like one thing I can say, what I already experienced here.
On the side of the trainers, they say the lessons they provide help young people broaden their thinking, improve their entrepreneurship skills, and learn how to start and grow income-generating projects.
There is a big package we have in the program. One is to enhance their entrepreneurial mindset by training them in what we call the micro-business game. It is a board simulation game that simulates all the operations of a small and micro business. So by the end they finish the business, they know from registration, supplier management, customer management, finance management, human resource, all those basics of business. By the time they finish training, they should be able to understand and be ready to apply them in their own business.
An entrepreneurship expert at the Ministry of Trade and Industry, Etienne Turimo Majambiri, notes that equipping young people with entrepreneurship skills is one of the key pillars that help countries achieve sustainable development and create new jobs.
The report of the World Economic Forum of 2026. So from these businesses, more than 80% of them are SMEs, which drive most of our economies around the world. So having SMEs which lack entrepreneurial mindset, which lack of entrepreneurial thinking, that will be something that I cannot directly find the word how to find it. So that is why our youth, our people, our SMEs, not only SMEs of Rwanda, but also SMEs around the world, SMEs of Uganda, SMEs of Tanzania, SMEs of Chad, whoever is representing his or her country here. We are eager to have them to make sure that this entrepreneurship mindset is well aligned with our priorities.
Cooperation between Rwanda and other countries in building youth capacity is seen as one of the key drivers that will enhance skills, innovation, and entrepreneurship, enabling young people to play a significant role in economic development and improving citizens' livelihoods.
Martina Avera will be bringing you the next edition of the news, so please be sure to join her. Until you see me again, it's goodbye.